welcome back to my channel. So today I have a review of the latest release from Givenchy in their Irresistible Givenchy range. It's their new one called Very Floral. I have it here and I'm going to be letting you know what this smells like, my first impressions, review, and how it compares to the others in the range, which I'll also explain. If you're new here, then hello, welcome. I'm all about perfumes. I have over 1,000 videos like this reviewing new releases, whole ranges, so do check out my other videos. I'll leave the links to my other Givenchy videos down below, and of course I have my blog which has detailed articles on whole perfume ranges. As always, I'll leave the links in the description box to where you can buy this perfume and all the ones I talk about all around the world. I bought this from Look Fantastic, where I have my code LFTF Soki that gives you 21% off. And of course I'll also leave the links to where you can get my fragrances, Empress, Aphrodite, which are available with worldwide shipping on my website. Cool, so the original Irresistible Givenchy came out a few years ago, maybe about 3 years ago, and it's actually become one of my top 5 favorite fragrances. I love this perfume. I think this is my 3rd bottle of it. It has a really juicy pear top note, and if you're regular here you'll know that I'm obsessed with pear. I love pear in fragrances, and that's followed by a really dewy, almost aquatic rose, and I find it really refreshing, feminine, and I do find it lasts. At first when I sprayed it I was disappointed. I felt like it was too light, but that I was wrong. It's got a subtlety to it, but its presence does remain. I am a big fan of Givenchy in general. I find that their perfumes do last really well. They're lawn to deep fragrances, really good for lasting, and the old Very Irresistible that came in the big tall bottles, I used to really love them. My favorite was the intense one that was purple, and I found that lasted really well. Ange Demon lasts really well, so I definitely recommend Givenchy in general for their quality, and I do love this. I also have the hair mist in this, which is not widely sold, but I'll see if I can find it and leave the links below. So that was followed by 2 eau de toilette versions, which I was less excited about because for me they were too light. They didn't have enough presence. There was eau de toilette, then there was eau de toilette fresh, and they were both kind of a bit lemony and just, yeah, too light for me. We then had Rose Velvet, which came out last year, and this one introduced iris into the mix. There was none of the pear top note, and instead we go straight into the rose with a warm iris. Iris for me was one of the main themes of 2023 when it came to perfume. We had Iris Absolue from Olivier Bell. Everyone just seemed to be releasing an iris fragrance. Rose Velvet also had patchouli in the base, which again made it deeper. For me, Rose Velvet is more of a wintry fragrance, but I was sad because it didn't have that pear top note that I love, and it did have quite a few similarities to my Empress perfume, which also has a rose heart patchouli base, but I added the strawberry top note in Empress to lift it, whereas Rose Velvet, it said it had blackcurrant in, but really I found that iris just dominated over the blackcurrant. So we now get this new one, Very Floral. The bottle is different. The other ones all came in these square bottles, but this one long and thin, and the liquid is very pink, like almost a raspberry pink. It's more, I think it's a bit more pink than it's showing on camera. Now I've been wearing this all morning, and I have to say I am definitely impressed with it, and the lasting power and the projection, you know, the sillage, I can really smell it on myself. It's really good. I was really pleased to see that this is an eau de parfum, not another eau de toilette. It definitely has the same rose DNA that's in all the other versions, and what it also has is the iris, but rather than it being quite a musky, intense iris like in Rose Velvet, here it's had some jasmine added and it has some ombre musk added. Ombre musk is a very warm, cozy fragrance note. They've also used a solar note, which is another like creamy, cozy note. And for me, they have lifted it and kept it a little bit more lighthearted than Rose Velvet. The top note again has blackcurrant in. It has a hint of coconut water, which I definitely wasn't expecting, and bergamot. And I do smell the blackcurrant top note more so than I do in Rose Velvet. For me, this does have some slightly fruity fruity undertones which echo the original, my favourite. But the main notes are definitely rose, iris, and then that fruity blackcurrant. It is definitely well named. I think the name Very Floral fits this. It does feel like a big floral bouquet. I would say this is a good alternative to Miss Dior fragrances. Reminds me a little bit of Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming, which is discontinued by the way, and like a stronger, more warmer version of Miss Dior Rose and Roses. Yeah, in fact, it reminds me of Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming quite a lot. It also reminds me of especially Escada. This is a perfume that I did a video on a few years ago. I think it's discontinued, and it was a great value for money rose fragrance, and it definitely reminds me of that. I think if you liked any of the Very Irresistible, if you liked especially Escada, if you like Miss Dior, particularly the more older versions of Miss Dior rather than the very light ones they have at the moment, I think you'll like this. It's very different still to the original, so I think you could definitely have both fragrances and they're very different, and it feels more intense than the original, which has all those light fresh pear notes in and making it a little bit more juicy, whereas this perhaps is a little bit more serious with the floral bouquet. But if you are a big fan of florals and you're looking for something that's really feminine floral and that can be relied on to last, people can smell it on you, get compliments, then I do definitely recommend Very Floral. For me, this is definitely a Soki approved fragrance. I like the bottle, I like the pink, like raspberry coloured liquid, and the fragrance is really lasting well on me, and it smells pretty and feminine, and I prefer it to Rose Velvet for sure. It is quite expensive, so this is the 35ml that I have here, it's Eau de Parfum. This retails for 67. There is a 50ml which should be about 90 something, and then the larger size is an 80ml which is 112, so it's not 100ml, so do watch that. But because you don't, like, I only did a one spray and I can still really smell it on me like hours later, so you don't need too much of this, so the value for money wise is really not that bad. But personally, the original remains my favourite because I love my pear. So guys, let me know if you've tried it yet. What do you think? Which is your favourite from the Irresistible Givenchy range? Let me know in the comments. I do read all your comments. And like I said, all the links will be down below in the description box where you can get this, along with my code where you can get it discounted at Look Fantastic. And yeah, but that's it guys. So thanks so much for watching as always. Do give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!